y'all just don't know how happy it makes me to be able to weed eat and get my property looking nice. Like I say, usually I don't have time to do all this, but because of that right there, that miracle blessing, for real, it makes it all possible.
I can hear you call my name. I can hear you call my name. I can hear you call my name. Come to the table, cup runneth over. Come drink your fill. I can hear you call my name. I can hear you call my name. Oh, I can hear you call my name. You come to the valley. Come lay your head down. Come rest your feet by the river of life. Come to the pasture, rest by the fire, rest as the wind blows over the plain. I can hear you call my name. I can hear you call my name. I can hear you call my name. Come to the pasture, lie by the river. Come drink your fill and be well. Come to the table, cup runneth over. Come drink your fill and be well.
y'all. It's I.A.G Farms. It's all about God. And as y'all can see, I got the weed eater crunk up. And I actually did like a full day of mowing on the new bad boy tractor. What his name is? Outlaw. For real. One more time. Outlaw. For real. But if y'all might think I'm acting crazy, but y'all might have missed the video. If y'all did, I don't know where you're at. We've been waiting to get this zero turn for like 2 or 3 years now. And we finally got our zero turn, and we chose the bad boy Rebel zero turn. We were thinking about going with the Maverick HD, but the salesman was too good. He sold us on the Rebel, and he actually lowered the price of the Rebel to make it fit inside of our budget, because he already knew we were paying cash. And anytime you're paying cash, you can get a good deal, get a better deal, you know. So because we had cash, he dropped the price down, and it really was the same price as the Maverick HD. So we were able to bump it up, and I'm so glad that we did, because when I was mowing the grass with this zero turn, it's like our grass was still kind of thick from last year, because I didn't do a good mowing or a good bush hogging last year. And actually, I was mowing areas where I usually bush hog it. Like the grass was like thick, and it was like matted down, because you know the frost had killed it and brought it down. And so this Rebel, this bad boy, plowed through it like it wasn't nothing, and I didn't have to go over it twice or anything. I just cut it on 3 inches and just plowed right through it, and it didn't have any problems with it. It didn't bog down anything. And I told Megan it's probably good that we got the Rebel with the more powerful motor and heavier deck and all those type of things, because I don't know if that Maverick would have handled that grass for real, because that was like bush hog level grass. And as y'all see, we got another bad boy over here. Got our bad boy tractor, 25 horsepower tractor that we're loving. That's amazing. And it lets you know that we love the bad boy brand, because we have a tractor that we've had about 3-4 years, something like that. And then we chose a bad boy zero turn as well. And one thing about it is, I will say, is this seat. Like, this seat is like amazing. For real. It's like the seat on the zero turn. Just look at it. It got armrest. It has your weight turn dial, so you turn this to whatever weight you are, and it customizes the suspension for the seat, so it makes it stiff. You don't want it too bouncy, but you don't want it too stiff either, and so it just makes it perfect. Has a little seat belt, and everything is just right there. Like I said, I love this thing. I've only did one good mowing in it, and it actually has the dual fuel tanks. So each of these fuel tanks are 6 gallons, and let's see how much gas I used on my first mowing. So y'all can see about how much gas I used. I didn't even use a half a tank, and I mowed probably, 5 hours for real. But it has fuel tanks on both sides, so dual fuel tank, 6 gallons a piece, and it's so it has a 12-gallon fuel tank, might as well say. And I'm able to mow. I can probably mow 3-4 more times before I have to fill up. But this seat, so y'all look at the seat on the zero turn. So any bad boy executives, if you're watching this, look at that seat right there. And then let's come over here to this $20,000 tractor. Now that's a $10,000 zero turn, but this is a $20,000 tractor. Look at this seat. Look at this little thing. Come on, bad boy. For real. Give us a better seat on the tractor. No armrest. It's just plain. But they don't specialize in tractors. Like I said, they're just getting into the tractors. They just came out actually with a 50 horsepower bad boy tractor. This is a 25 horsepower. They've been had 35. And I just saw in the video the other day that they just came out with the 50. And I'm excited about that when we get our new property. Maybe we can bump our tractor size up. But this seat is a whole lot more comfortable. Like I said, you feel like you're on the tractor when you're riding on this thing, and you're just sitting back. It's just comfortable, super comfortable. But I got all my mowing done a couple days ago, and like I say, right now, y'all saw I crunked the weed eater up, and I'm gonna go around and weed eat some spots, like I say, around our living area, around the barn site, things like that. I need to go down and weed eat around the pond. Like I say, it needs weed eating down there, and a few other spots as well, like beside the road, in the creek and ditches and stuff like that. So I'm gonna see how much weed eating I can get done today. I might also, usually, I spray weed killer around our mobile home, around our home, Emma. And so I don't have to weed eat around there as much, because the more you weed eat around that skirting, the more chances it is of you hitting that skirting and popping holes in it. Yeah, all it takes is just one little pop and the hole gets in that stuff, like I say, because it's so brittle from being out in the sun and everything. But it's actually holding up pretty well, like I say. But I've like I say, I hadn't weed eated a whole lot around it. Usually I weed eat one time a year and then spray it with weed killer, and it kills all that grass, so I don't have to weed eat. I can just mow, close and everything. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and set y'all up, and I'm gonna do a little bit of weed eating. Like I said, I don't know exactly what's fully in store for today, but I'm gonna take this thing one step at a time for real, and knock these goals down. So y'all stick around and y'all enjoy me cleaning up the property and weed eating. And like I said, I did all my mowing, but that was like really 3-4 days ago, and it's been raining a lot, and so the sun's just coming back out, and so I already know like in 2 days, a day or so, like all that grass is gonna be ready to mow. It's gonna be ready to be mowed again, and I'll make sure I bring y'all along for that mowing, because I know y'all want to see me mow with the bad boy. But anyway, all right, y'all, so let me put y'all down, set y'all up, and then get started weed eating and see how much I can get done. It's I.A.G Farms. It's all about God. Y'all stick around for today's video. All right, y'all, I got the barn site done, and y'all just don't know how much this blesses me to be able to do weed eating, because in years past, I've took so long to mow the grass that I hadn't had time to do weed eating. But I got all that grass there, weed eated down, and this grass here, once I weed eated that, I realized that this grass needs to be cut as well. So I might hop on a zero turn that I get done weed eating everything in this area and kind of go over this grass here, and in some other spots as well. Like I said, it's kind of popping up. I'm just looking for a reason to get on the zero turn for real. But I got all this weed eated here, and we have the plan, because we've been in the process ever since we've gotten the barn finished off to you know, clean up around here, and we've been doing pretty good. Like I say, getting rid of junk, hauling off junk, and we have this line of stuff back here that needs to be hauled off, and we have some pallets and just little odds and end type stuff, old toys from the boys. And our plan is we're gonna rent a dumpster and have them just drop it back here, and then all this junk that you see laying around, we're kind of piling it up, you know, in piles, so that when we get the dump you know, dropped here, we can just take all these piles and just throw it in the dump and let them haul it off. Like I said, we tried getting somebody else to haul it off, like a company, but that didn't work out too well. Y'all remember that? They took the stuff and dumped it on the side of the road. Had the sheriff department showing up at our house. But I'm super blessed by this, like, because the reason that I'm able to weed eat all of this is because of this new zero turn here. Because without this zero turn, I would be out here still on putt-putt cutting grass. And like I say, the zero turn, literally areas that it took me, man, 3 hours to mow, it literally takes 15 minutes with this thing. It's just amazing. I can't believe it. Like I told Megan, I said we should have been got a zero turn, and then we just said that everything worked in this time. Like I said, we were patient, we saved up, we kept on being faithful over what we had, faithful over the few with putt, and now he's made us ruler over an outlaw. A ruler over many. But yeah, so I got all that weed eated, and now I'm gonna just keep on working my way around. I was planning on weed eating this part over here by the septic tank in the leach field, but I think it might be dry enough for me to get outlaw over here and mow a little bit. We got a spot over here that's kind of wet. Like I say, that's why I built this trail right here, is because I used to have to come down through here with the tractor and go around to get down to the feeder hogs to you know, maintenance their pen and everything. It is kind of wet right in this area as well. Like I said, it might be some spots where I can mow. I might need to go ahead and weed eat it because I don't want to rut it up anymore. Because I need to let it dry out real good and then come in and fill these ruts in. So I might not weed eat that. I might not cut it with the 0 turn. It's probably gonna be too heavy and I don't want to rut it up even worse. But that's why I made this trail here so that we won't have to bring the tractor through here to bring deep bedding to our pig pen down here. But you can see I got a lot of stuff in here need to be weed eated as well. So I'm gonna weed eat that. And then I'll probably get over here and here, weed eat all this. I know it looks like a lot, but we can handle it. Weed eat all that, and then we'll go up beside Emma and weed eat over there at Emma. So it's fun times on the farm, and I'm actually getting a chance this year to weed eat. Like I said, I was able to mow all of the grass on the whole property in one day. That has never happened since the history of me owning this property, of us owning this property at least, because we've owned this property probably about 5 or 6, maybe going on 7 years, because Noah wasn't born when we bought this property. He's 5, he'll be 6. Yeah, so we got at least owned it 6 years because Noah is gonna be 6 in a couple days. And yeah, so we've owned this property about 7 years. That's crazy to say that. But in those 7 years, 6-7 years, we have never in one day mowed all the grass. You know, it always took 3 or 4 days to mow all the grass, and we had to just mow a part here, a part there. But with that bad boy 0 turn, one day it was done. Probably about 4 or 5 hours. Like I say, this is about 5 acres. When they broke it down as family land, it was supposed to be 7 acres, but they didn't have a survey done. They just did it based off the measurements. But once we got it surveyed, it went from 7 acres to 5 acres. And because, you know, they don't survey the topography. You know, they just survey the like a straight line, and this property has hills, and so the line goes straight across. It doesn't go in the hill and on the surface area. But surface area is probably about 7 acres, so I'm actually mowing about 7 acres, if that makes any sense. But anyway, so in all those years, I've never gotten all this grass mowed and was able to weed eat, because usually I spend all my energy 3-4 days mowing the grass, and by the time I get done doing that, take a couple days off, it's time to mow grass again, and I don't get a chance to weed eat. But this year, Lord willing, I'll be able to keep up with my weed eating, and like I said, we can get some more of this trash hauled off. We got a big bulk, we got a bunch of it hauled off already, and like I said, we're just gonna get a dump set here and use the tractor and put all the rest of that stuff in there. So hopefully we can get all this trash out the way, get weed eating done, have the property looking nice this year. It's gonna be amazing. All right, y'all, I got all this over here weed eated, and as y'all can see, there's a hose pipe here, and I wanted to get all that weed eated because the boys, when they do water, I got an ant bed somewhere, but I've been knocking ants off me. But when the boys do the waters down here for the feeder hogs, they run a hose pipe down through here, and they bring the blue one from over there and connect it in right there. And so I wanted to make sure that this right here was nice and low for them, because we do have snakes out here. We're in Mississippi, it's snake season. But as long as you stay out of their way, they stay out of your way. And like I say, stay out of tall grass and things like that. And when you're weed eating, you know, you have to watch out for the snakes that are being in the grass curled up. And so you have to keep the weed eater out in front of you, and don't step in grass that haven't been weed eated. As long as you do that, most of the time you'll kill the snakes as you're weed eating, and or they'll run off. So, but yeah, I got that trail there clear for the boys. And a lot of this, now that I got it down, I'll be able to, because I can see it now. I don't want to bring the 0 turn. I don't want to bring Outlaw through here. and I didn't know what was in here, but now I kind of know it's nothing, you know, in here, so I can bring the zero turn through here and kind of keep this up. And over here, I can bring the zero turn through here as well. Like I said, I didn't really know if it was anything right in there or not, but future reference, like I said, I need to clear all this stuff out here. And we got some stuff around that tree there. Like I said, that'll go in the dump when we bring the dump here. But yeah, so I should be able to mow all of that with the zero turn as well. And before this year, I don't know if it was just winter time and the summertime is gonna dry everything up. But like I say, those ruts that I made with the tractor aren't really drying up over here. So I'm not really able to get in here with the zero turn. It might be some spots that I can get in this section. But like I say, it's pretty wet and I don't want to rut it all up too bad, because it's dry right in here, and but downhill is wet, so I might as well just go ahead and weed eat all of it. Y'all may be thinking, you about to weed eat all that? It's like, yep. For real. Actually, when I was before I went in full-time ministry, I've said this before I went in full-time ministry, because I was in full-time ministry before we started full-time farming, and then we came down here and I went into full-time farming and doing YouTube videos and everything. But before both of those, I was actually I did tractor work for a living, and my dad and we had a business to where we were bush hog, and I ended up having to weed eat a lot of spots like this, big spots where the tractor couldn't get into, or it might have been a little bit wet and we didn't want to track it up with the tractor. And so especially like around people's septic tanks and things like that, we didn't want to tear anything up. So we ended up weed eating sections like triple this size. But it is big. Like I said, you have to kind of know how to work that thing and swing it to where it don't work you to death. But I'm gonna get in here and start weed eating all this down. And once I get this weed eater down, I'm just kind of working my way around a circle. So I weed eat around the barn first, then I work my way over here. I weed eat around the storm shelter. A lot of people people ask a lot of times, where is our storm shelter? Because they might have not saw the video when we put it in. But our storm shelter is right here in front of the barn. And the reason that we put the storm shelter here and not down by our mobile home by Emma is because our plan is to build a house out in this section right here. So we left this big old section here open so that we can build a house one day if we decide to. But if not, like I say, because we've kicked around ideas about building a house down here. And y'all know we just bought that other property, and we've kicked around ideas about moving Emma once we build a house down here to our other property that we bought, and you know, having it as a rental, or even, you know, bringing the value of that property up and selling it. But who knows, like I say, because mobile homes don't hold value in themselves, but when you put them on a piece of dirt, that dirt holds the value, and it brings the value of the mobile home to make it to where it didn't depreciate as much. Like I said, I don't know if you all are familiar with real estate and depreciating assets and things like that, but they consider a mobile home to be a depreciating asset. And like I say, but when you have a mobile home on dirt that you own, it kind of doesn't depreciate as much. And so this mobile home in a mobile home lot would probably only be worth $20,000, $15,000. But on this dirt here, that mobile home is worth six figures, $150,000, you know, because the dirt, you know, goes along with it. So if you buy the mobile home, you buy the dirt, so $150,000. But if you buy the mobile home by itself, if it's on like a mobile home lot, then it's not worth as much, if that makes any sense. So the dirt underneath the mobile home brings the value back up, but the mobile home itself depreciates and goes down. But anyway, so that's a thought that we had about our mobile home. Like I said, we're still gonna build our porch and everything, like I say, but you know, within the next 5 or 6 years, we'll know what we're gonna do, if we're gonna build a house down here, or we're gonna buy more land and build a house, or buy land with a house on it already. So that's kind of in the plan. But yeah, storm shelter is over here, and the reason that we put it there is because we plan on building a house out in this section right here, and we want the storm shelter to be behind where our house is gonna be at. And also, like I said, I'm working my way around. I've got all that down there weed eated, so the boys can go do waters without having to worry about snakes and everything. And now I'm about to work my way through this big old jungle called the leach field. All right, y'all, stick around. Let's get it done. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. All right, now y'all know it's possible. It took me probably about 15-20 minutes, but I got it done. And hopefully this will be the last time that I have to weed eat this section. Cause like I said, this is our leach field. You can see where our spray heads are. I have a T-post, a step-in post marking our spray heads, so I don't mow over top of them. But you can see this whole section here. Like I said, this little triangle section, and it's not really too wet off in there. I probably could have cut this whole part here. Really, the only part that is wet is like from here on back that way. And yeah, so I kind of know now. Like I said, I can mow over there. But we've always had problems out of these spray heads. Sometimes it doesn't spray right, and so it doesn't like broadcast out enough, and it's spraying more like a hose pipe. And like I say, these are those roots that in this area right here where I used to go in with the tractor and go down there and give wood chips to the feeder hogs. But I got that done, and I also need to bring the tractor in once it dries up and get this. This is a pile of dirt right here. I actually need to take that and smooth it out in this area right here, but I can't get in here until it dries up. Like I said, it's just early in spring and everything's still wet right now. But I got that done, and now, like I said, I'm just still working my way around. Look at that barn back there. Look at old Ernest. Looking good back there. I can't wait to get some paint on them. But we're not rushing to do anything. We're very, very patient. Sometimes our patience gets on folks' nerves, because it's like, would they please get done with this barn? It's like, in due time. Would they please do this? In due time. When is the porch bill gonna begin? In due time. For real. But now I'm finna get ready to come around Emma and weed eat around this skirting here very carefully. Like I said, if I would have went on ahead and sprayed, I wouldn't even had any of this grass here. But like I said, I'm just getting to the point where I'm getting focused on grass. But y'all can see all this grass around the skirting around this area. It's not too thick up here. Like I said, I shouldn't have to weed eat too hard. It gets a little bit thicker over in this area over here, and back here in the back. So I'm pretty much just gonna go around the whole mobile home and get all this weed eated. So I'm feeling good about my progress so far. Like I say, it's a beautiful thing to be out here weed eating, because usually I'm not able to do it. And it's like, as I'm weed eating, I'm noticing that this grass is ready to mow. I really want to let it come up just a little bit more. Like I said, because I wanted to kind of like have enough to like, you know, I don't want to mow it too fast, in other words. And then it turns brown if there's a drought or something like that. But even though I'm chomping at the bit to get back on Rebel, on Outlaw, I mean on that bad boy Rebel 0 turn. But I got some spots I think I'm gonna hop on them and do, like I say, at least around that barn site. And yeah, but right now I'm gonna go ahead and weed it around Emma. And then once I get that done, the last spot I think I'm gonna do is gonna be around the pond. I think I'm gonna weed eat around the pond, and then I'm gonna weed eat up front by the road up there, because y'all know we have road frontage property, which is one of the big important things for us. If you're buying property, if you have the opportunity to buy property with road frontage, do it. You don't want to, you would rather pull off the road into your property than to have to share a road or like an easement with somebody else. And so we try to buy all of our properties with road frontage. And the 3 properties that we have in this area, this property, the Resurrection Ranch, and then the new property that we purchased, the investment property, they all have road frontage. And that adds value to the property, and it also gives you ease, you know, to where you can maintain your own road. You don't have to worry about 3 or 4 people coming down that road and trying to figure out who's gonna maintain it. So, but anyway, let me get y'all set up, and we're gonna weed eat around Emma and try not to tear up our skirting.
I'm off to invisible ground. Learning
All right, y'all, I got everything done at the top of the property or the bottom of the, I don't know. I don't ever know which one to call it. Because sometimes I call this the top of the property. And then sometimes I call down there where our house is at the top of the property. But I got everything done around the house and the barn and then the leach field and the boys' trails that they use to do farm chores. But now I'm down here at our beautiful and amazing pond. It's looking nice and clear. We have to enjoy it while it's clear like this. We dye our pond with some blue pond dye every year. But we get this stuff right here. And that's the beginnings of it right there. It's called duckweed. And people have told us to put our ducks on the pond. We've tried putting ducks on the pond before, but our ducks wouldn't stay on the pond. Yeah.
I'll go walk outside to the hill.
Stop, though. Don't let them climb out looking for the video. I would never believe snapping so I can climb out of the duck. Look at him. He almost out of there. I don't let him bite the stick. I just stick it in there.
No, keep that.
Just stick it. Just move it. Like he don't want to bite it right now.
Just start whacking upside the head.
He's just trying to get away.
Yeah.
Start whacking. Whoa. It's getting bored. Probably.
Yeah, he ain't really trying to snap it right now.
Whoa.
There you go. Look how fast he can go. But our ducks wouldn't stay on the pond. Like I said, we might have to get them a duck coop and put it down here so they'll stay down here. But we've also tried dyeing the pond. That hadn't worked. And this year we actually bought a little tool that you use. Like once it gets, but you can't get it when it's small like that because it won't catch it. But once it gets a little bit thicker, you can grab it. Like I say, like I'll show y'all that once it gets thicker. But it's like a big old pond rake. I think that's what it's called, a pond rake. And it has these little plastic tubes at the end that catch onto the stuff, and then the water goes inside of it and like weighs it down, and then you can pull it off. But anyway, I made it down to my last location. I'm a weed eat down here around the pond, and then I'm gonna go up at the front of the property by the road up here. Like I told y'all, we have road access, so I'm gonna go up here and weed eat by the road. I mowed by the road when I mowed everything else. All the rest of the fields, as you can see, they're looking amazing. Let me just walk y'all down this pond dam and show y'all. Yeah, but as you can see, everything's looking amazing, all the grass. But like I say, it's about time for all this to be mowed again. I can see once I get down here. Like I say, from a distance, it looks good. But once you get up on it, you realize it's time for it to be mowed again. But the pond is looking good. And I'm just giving y'all a view of what we see when we take our walks. And it's amazing. And like I said, I'm gonna just come in and knock this stuff down right here. Like I said, nothing too major. I'm not gonna mess with any of this right here. These are all berry bushes. Somebody was asking in the comments, did we have any berries or fruit trees, anything like that on the property? We have a whole line of blackberries, or some people call them dewberries, along this line. And then we have 2 or 3 persimmon trees right there. Those trees right there, 1, 2. And then every year they produce another one. And so like I say, every year they reseed themselves. So eventually we need to start digging them up and then plant them somewhere else, because they probably gonna crowd each other out. But those are persimmon trees that produce persimmons that are ready in the fall, I believe. And then these berries here grow in the springtime. So they should be blooming out pretty soon. You can already see them already. The green shoots, and those are white flowers turn into berries. So all of these are dewberries, and every year we come in with the boys and pick a whole bunch of dewberries, make a nice dewberry cobbler or pie, something like that. But yeah, so let me get y'all set up, and then it's gonna be my last spot. Like I said, I probably won't even pick y'all up and record down by the road, but I go ahead and record doing this right here, and let y'all see what this pond looks like. Weed eat it. And we never get a chance to weed eat it, like I said, because it takes so much time to cut the grass. And I'm excited to get back on the lawnmower and cut some more grass, because it looks like the grass needs cutting again. Certain spots are getting tall. I'll probably give it a couple more days and then mow. Like I said, just focus on weed eating today. But yeah, let me get y'all set up, and then we'll weed eat this last section, and then we'll be done for the day.
Calling from something that's out there.
All right, y'all, got that done. And I think that's gonna be it for me today. For real. But it looks good, as y'all can see. It's smoothed out the pond down and it looks real good. And I threw all the grass back that way so it wouldn't get in the pond. And that little bit of grass I got in the pond from the from weed eating, it died out. Like I say, out there, but before the day is out, that sun hitting it. But yeah, it looks amazing. And I'm glad to get that done because, like I say, y'all just don't know how happy it makes me to be able to weed eat and get my property looking nice. Like I say, usually I don't have time to do all this, but because of that right there, that miracle blessing, for real, it makes it all possible. But yeah, because literally just with this little pond down right here with my old lawnmower, I literally would have had to go over it 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 times. And then if the grass is too tall, I would have had to tread back over it, go over it twice. So that's like 8 passes, when you add that up. And then with our outlaw over there, our bad boy zero turn, it's 2 passes and it's done. And you see how smooth it is and nice. And I can tell now after mowing this grass that it's time for me to mow the rest of the grass. I'm gonna show y'all. Cause like I said, I just mowed this grass. What was that? Thursday of last week. And today is I think today is Tuesday. And you can see how thick and tall it's gotten already. And so all of this, everything is ready to be mowed again. But I don't think I'm gonna mow today. I think I'm gonna pick up mowing another day. I think I've done enough. Like I said, after doing all that weed eating, I'm kind of tired, ready for a break, ready to go ahead and eat lunch and kind of sit back and get ready to edit some videos and do all those type of things. But yeah, weed eating this property is a job. Like I said, and I didn't even do everything. I still got weed eating around some of these trees. I got weed eating all over there, as you can see, all down the fence line. Like I said, this whole fence line needs to be weed eated going all the way down. But to weed eat this whole property would probably take after we mow and everything, all the places that need to be weed eated. If I weed eated all those places, it'll probably take about 6 hours for real, maybe more, maybe something like 6 to 10 hours. It's a lot of weed eating needs to be done. And it's a beautiful property, but like I said, it's a lot of like nooks and crannies, trees, spots that you can't get in and mow. And so it's not just a flat property, but it's amazing. We love it because it has character. We really didn't want a flat property. We wanted a property that had some hills, some flat spots, some streams and creeks and a pond and, some trees and forest and some green pastures. Like I said, just a blend of it all. And this property has it all. It's a lot packed into this 5 acres. Like I say, 5 acres, 7 acres, whichever one you want to say. But cause I care about the surface acres for real, cause that's what I'm maintaining is the surface. But yeah, but the zero turn did a good job. Like I said, that little bit of mowing right there is that would have still took me 15-20 minutes, and with the zero turn it only took 5 minutes, 1 pass on each line. But yeah, so with that being said, I think I'm gonna end today's video here. Everything is looking good. I'm gonna go in and get a break. Like I said, I'll probably pick up mowing another day, and I'll just pick y'all up then, like I said, let y'all see a good full day's worth of mowing with the new zero turn with outlaw. So with that being said, I'm gonna end today's video here. I'm tired, ready to go ahead and get some lunch. I really worked past lunch. I should have stopped probably a couple hours ago, but I can barely talk. My mouth so dry. I hadn't drunk anything either. For real. But anyway, so y'all have a good one, and thank y'all for joining me on today's video. It's I.A.G Farms. It's all about God. See y'all on the next one.